Hello, everybody. Welcome to another session of UMortgage's Financial Literacy Week. My name is Isabella, and we will be closing out today's sessions with NFTs. Maybe you know what they are, maybe you have no idea, but no fear, we will be giving you the 411 on it all. I personally know that I did not know a lot about NFTs before this, and while working with our amazing designer who put together this course, I have learned so much. I actually had an NFT purchased for me in the past, and now I have an even deeper understanding of what it all means. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you are all familiar with the webinar features offered on Zoom. For the purpose of this session, I have turned off your camera and microphone features, so you won't need to worry about those. Although this is mainly a one-way conversation, I will be occasionally asking you to provide your opinions or thoughts through the chat feature. To do that, click on the chat icon at the bottom of your screen. I know that this is a complex topic and questions probably are going to come up, so please use the Q&A feature to submit your questions as they arise. We will be hosting a Q&A at the end of the session where I will answer any of the questions that you have to the best of my ability. To submit those, click on the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen. Great. Now that everybody knows the expectations, we can continue on. Before I move any further, I want to ensure that we are all aware of the following, that I am not and we are not financial advisors. The content in this training is for educational purposes only. The material does not take into account your particular financial objectives, situation, or needs, and is not intended as recommendations appropriate for you. In order to make the best financial decisions that suit your needs, you need to conduct your own research and seek the advice of a licensed financial advisor if necessary. With that in mind, let's continue on. As I said, in this session, we will be talking about non-fungible tokens, which are also commonly called NFTs. NFTs are probably new to most of you, and it can be a lot to process. To be sure you are taking it all in, I will pause throughout so you can process the information and view the cool NFTs that we are showing. I'd like to start by asking you all a question. On the screen, you are going to see three icons referencing three different people. What do you think that LeBron James, Kings of Leon, and Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey all have in common? Other than the fact that they're all famous, of course. Send your answers in the chat. I'll give you all about 60 seconds to think about what they all have in common. They were all in the use of the Somebody music video, maybe. What do you all think? What do they all have in common? We have some good answers coming in, and I'm actually going to show you. Well, if you didn't know, they either have an NFT made of them or have created and sold an NFT, two of which sold for record-setting prices. A digital collectible of LeBron James was sold on the NBA platform NBA Top Shot for $230,023. The digital collectible is a moment from one of the most iconic plays from Game 6 of 2020 NBA Finals, where he won his fourth NBA title. Kings of Leon was the first band to release an album as an NFT in 2021. They did also release it on other streaming platforms and as a physical album, but the NFT album included live show perks like front row seats and exclusive audio visual art on top of the digital download of the music. Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey sold his first ever tweet for over $2.9 million. This expensive NFT tweet is just setting up my Twitter. As you can see from these examples, NFTs are becoming more and more popular than ever. Everyone from celebrities to corporations are creating or buying them. In fact, Mark Zuckerberg recently announced that he is working to bring NFTs to Instagram in the future. Whether you are ready or not, NFTs are becoming a bigger part of our culture and economy. So I hope that this session will give you the basic information that you need to understand NFTs and how they work. By the end of this presentation, you will be able to define a non-fungible token or NFT, explain how they work, and analyze the potential risks and rewards of creating or buying NFTs. As we start discussing NFTs, I'm curious, have you ever owned a print or replica of a piece of artwork or concert poster? What is it or what was it? Send your answers in the chat. Going to give everyone about 30 more seconds to think about any other replicas of art, concert posters, anything like that that they have ever owned. Ooh, some prints of artwork from Etsy. That's a great place always to buy some stuff. We got some posters, some great answers coming in. It seems like some of you currently own or have owned a replica of a piece of artwork or a concert poster. And whether you sent an answer in the chat or not, I'm sure that many of you own or have owned one. It's a really common thing, and it's nice to be able to buy a replica instead of buying the original piece of artwork, which is probably going to be very expensive. However, depending on how you look at it, the downside of owning a replica of something is just that. It's a replica or a copy of the original, and many people own one, not just you. The idea of owning a print of original artwork or original concert poster is directly the opposite of the concept of NFTs. The prints or replicas, which are copies of the original work, are fungible items. They are of equal value to one another and are interchangeable. NFT stands for non-fungible token. A non-fungible token is a tokenized digital asset that cannot be copied, substituted, or subdivided, and it represents a real-world object or a piece of digital art. NFTs are not fungible, meaning that they are unique and have a unique identifying code. There's only one of each unique NFT, which means that if you own one, you own the original of that digital asset. So there's only one. It's always going to be that unique item. I bet that you didn't realize NFTs have existed since 2014. However, they're becoming more popular now due to the sales of digital artwork and record-setting auctions. The total value of NFT sales in 2020 was $250 million. But in just the first quarter of 2021, the value was up to $2 billion. This shows the rapid growth and popularity of NFTs in just 1 year. Now that you know what an NFT is and a little of the history, we can break down some of the basics. NFTs are bought and sold online, with cryptocurrency being the main form of currency, but some platforms actually allow you to buy and sell using regular currency. Each NFT has a unique identifying code that is verifiable on the blockchain. For some background on the blockchain, it is a digitally distributed, decentralized public ledger that exists across a network and is most known for its use with cryptocurrencies. If you want more information about crypto or the blockchain, you can check our course on Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. In most cases, NFTs are indivisible, meaning that they cannot be split into fractions to be sold. There are some nuances with this, and you can buy one portion of an NFT in some cases called an NFT, but we won't get into too much detail with that today. NFTs are provably scarce. The scarcity of an NFT can be proved by verifying the amount of an NFT on the blockchain. We actually got a question that is relevant, so I am going to answer that now. So the question was, I assume there is some type of clearinghouse that verifies authenticity. And the answer is that the NFTs are tracked and verified on the blockchain, as I mentioned. So each NFT has its own unique transaction hash, which makes it non-replicable. And the blockchain collects all of that transactional data and stores it in blocks, eventually forming a blockchain. And again, if you want to learn more about the blockchain, we will have a course on Sunday that is going to talk all about this. The price for an NFT, back to our basics, the price for an NFT is based on the demand and scarcity, both which drive up the price. This is different from some other investments, such as stocks, which are also based on many other factors. Beware that prices based on demand and scarcity can have consequences that aren't always positive. This means that an NFT could resell for less than you bought it for, or you might not be able to resell it at all if the demand is not high. So, after learning about the basics of NFTs, why might someone buy one? Well, for some of the reasons we just discussed. They are unique, they are scarce, and essentially, you can have bragging rights and say that you are the only owner of a unique item. Many NFTs include exclusive experiences and benefits in addition to the NFT itself. The exclusive experiences might include audio or written memories of an event and signatures from the artist or creator. Finally, buying an NFT can be an investment opportunity. Now that we've talked about some of the basics, let's take a look at an NFT that actually includes some exclusive benefits. The NFT of the Beatles song notes for Hey Jude is a GIF that includes the notes and doodles of Paul McCartney. It's not the physical item. The physical item is owned by Julian Lennon since it was written for him. And as you can see here is the digital version of those song notes, which is that NFT, as I mentioned. The description below it on the website describes the exclusive benefit of an audio recording of Julian Lennon and boasts that the NFT is brought to life in an even more personal way through that audio. It's these kinds of exclusive benefits that may entice people to buy NFTs. So, we talked all about the basics, you saw some examples. Now let's see some more types of NFTs. Here are some examples of digital NFTs. And these can be almost any form of digital content, including art, gifts, sports highlights, collectibles, virtual avatars and video game skins, designer sneakers, music, tweets, and so much more. Real-world NFTs might include tickets to a real-world event, a deed to a car, legal documents, signatures, and more. There are some pretty interesting facts about NFTs, each having their own nuances, just like how each NFT has its own unique code. NFT artwork may or may not include the image file and be approved for printing to actually display it. For example, some NFT artwork may be approved for display on a TV or a computer screen instead of being printed and displayed. Some NFTs may be initially available only as a digital asset and later created as a physical item. An example of this is designer sneakers, which we'll learn more about shortly. A concert ticket NFT might include exclusive digital album covers or artwork or backstage footage. A main point to remember is that each NFT is unique to the rights the buyer has, including the way in which the NFT can be used or displayed. Exclusive benefits also widely vary from NFT to NFT and might not be included at all. Imagine your living room. What might be ways that you could display NFTs that you buy? I'll pause for about a minute to allow you all to share in the chat the cool ways that you would use your NFTs or fit them into your lifestyle. Digital picture frame, that's awesome. Getting some good ideas. What other ways could all of you show your NFTs if you were to buy one? I'm sure there are a plethora of ways. Twitter. That's awesome. TV streaming. We got some good answers coming in. These are all some pretty great examples. We have a few more examples of NFTs and how they could fit into your home or lifestyle. This designer sneaker NFT is definitely designed for bragging rights. It's called The X, and the website describes it as a next-gen sneakers studio creating the future of collectible sneakers for the metaverse. That is quite the sentence. Also, in the description of the NFT, the creators mention that the sneaker is currently only available digitally, but they plan to create a limited amount of physical sneakers in the future. So this is what we were talking about when we were saying that some of the exclusive benefits could actually be physical items. It's a pretty sick sneaker. Next, we have some digital art NFT. The artist Mike Winkelmann, also known as Beeple, sold his composite of 5,000 daily drawings to create one large piece of art called Every Days, the first 5,000 days. This is now famous because it sold for $69.3 million. NFT photographs could be printed and hung on your wall, depending again on the rights that the photographer, the artist, the creator, whatever it is, gives to the buyer. Here is a local Philadelphia example. This artist sells his photographs of Philly as NFTs. Some pretty good photos too. And there are some other ways that NFTs are being used. One NFT was sold and the proceeds actually went to charity. Sharon's NFT auction of the NFTP, non-fungible toilet paper, a piece of digital art, has been used to support charitable causes. All proceeds from the NFT sales went to Direct Relief, an organization that supports the health and lives of people affected by poverty or emergencies. And now let's take a look at an NFT GIF that was really popular about 10 years ago. NFTs can memorialize iconic digital art. Nyan Cat, originally known as Pop-Tart Cat, an iconic GIF created in 2011, has now been sold as an NFT for about $580,000. Now, you know what NFTs are, and you have seen some types and some examples, but how do they work? And how do you buy them? NFTs exist on the blockchain, which is a digital way to record information, and it's difficult to hack. NFTs are bought with cryptocurrency, or in some cases, regular currency, and are either sold for a fixed price or they're auctioned off, meaning the buyer can bid on the item. To buy NFTs, first, you need to get a digital wallet. This is where you'll store your cryptocurrency and your NFTs. Next, go to the NFT provider's website and verify the type of crypto they accept, or if they accept regular currency, confirm that as well. Then you'll purchase the type of currency that is necessary. Finally, search for and bid on or buy your NFTs. The ones you purchase will be stored in your digital wallet and will always be verifiable on the blockchain. You can buy NFTs on several different platforms. You can buy them on a private company's platform, such as NBA Top Shot or Chili's. You can also buy on NFT-specific marketplaces. The most well-known are OpenSea, Rarible, and Foundation. But you should note that NFT marketplaces typically will charge a service fee. So, what are some risks and rewards that would come with creating and buying NFTs? What do you all think? I'm going to give everyone about 60 seconds. Share some ideas in the chat. What do you think are some potential risks or rewards that would come with creating and buying NFTs? Losing all of your money. Yes, that is very possible. What else? What are some other risks or rewards? What are some? We're getting some good thoughts coming in. Big gains, cool merch. Bragging to your friends, that is a big one, I'm sure, for some people. There are many incentives for creating or buying NFTs. Some of them might be that anyone can be a creator, potentially earning profits and even royalties. Some artists can make royalties off of their artwork whenever it's resold. Additionally, anybody can be a consumer or investor, making money on reselling NFTs or using them as investments. NFTs could change the way we invest. NFTs don't require a middleman like other types of investing does. Transactions and transaction history is recorded on the blockchain and cannot be altered, so the information is reliable. Related to this idea, NFTs have built-in verification and authentication on the blockchain. Finally, since owning an NFT is still a relatively new idea, the fact that you own one allows you to do some serious bragging. Let's take a look at some scenarios that demonstrate the points that we just discussed. First, we have our gamer. NFTs allow me to buy game skins and then sell them after I'm done using them. If you are a gamer, this might be appealing to you. Instead of spending money, make money off of your gaming assets. Next, we have our artist. I can sell my NFT or my art as an NFT and earn royalties on the artwork every time it's resold. As an artist, this is a chance to earn money on your art, not just once, but multiple times. Finally, we have our bragger and investor. I own a Bored Ape. These NFTs are in very high demand and include membership to the Bored Ape Yacht Club. For someone who likes exclusivity and bragging about their purchases, this is definitely an opportunity for both. Also, as Bored Ape NFTs are in high demand, buying one could lead to a great investment return in the future. As you can see, a Bored Ape is a cartoon illustration of different types of Bored Apes being sold on OpenSea. So this is what our investor is buying. Buying one of these pieces of digital art also gets you a Bored Ape Yacht Club membership. And this membership includes live events on yachts and more. And as I mentioned, these NFTs are in very, very high demand. For example, the top bid for this one is currently at $276,000, which is pretty bananas if you ask me, but it comes with all of these exclusive perks. Can you identify with any of these scenarios? Would you be interested in creating or buying an NFT for any of these reasons or for other reasons? Send your thoughts and your opinions in the chat. Who do you align with? Maybe you don't. Nobody aligns with any of these people. I'm impressed, but also shocked at the same time. I don't know if impressed is the right word. The investor. What else? Does anyone else align with any of our characters? We got some good answers coming in. As with anything, and I know that some of these were highlighted in the chat earlier, NFTs have potential risks attached to them. For example, Since NFTs are relatively new, we can't yet judge their performance long-term in regard to investing and in general demand. Currently, NFT values are solely based on demand, which is what drives the price. So, as we discussed before, this could be a positive thing for investing and reselling NFTs, or it could be a negative thing in the case that in the future, the demand for your NFT may be lower than what you originally bought it at. There are still some unknowns surrounding NFTs, like the fact that the IRS has not ruled on what NFTs are considered for tax purposes. In general, good advice is to be cautious when buying NFTs. Unless you have a large amount of money to invest, start small and invest in small amounts or lower cost NFTs if you have the means and are interested in the world of NFTs at all. Let's take a look at some scenarios that demonstrate the potential risks we just discussed. First up is the critic. Not enough is known about NFTs yet to invest in them or spend money on them. Maybe you tend to critique new things. Maybe you just don't want to get into cryptocurrency and NFTs just yet. Maybe you want more information about future projections surrounding NFTs. For any and all of these reasons, you just aren't ready to dive into the world of NFTs. Next, we have the unconvinced. I can take a screenshot of that. Why would I buy it? Even after hearing about the uniqueness and scarcity of NFTs, plus the exclusive benefits included with some, you still don't get the hype or necessity. And that's okay, you don't have to buy into NFTs, at least not yet. Last, we are going to see what our cautious buyer thinks. I'm interested in NFTs, but there's not enough information on them to invest a lot of money, so I am going to start small. This may be the safest way to begin buying NFTs. Be cautious and start by investing small amounts of money or by buying lower cost NFTs. Do any of these scenarios resonate with you? Would you hesitate to buy an NFT for any reason? Send your thoughts in the chat. We got some good thoughts coming through. Anyone else relate? But the exclusive benefits could sway me. That is true. Before we jump into questions and answers, I want to remind everyone again that we are not financial advisors and the content in this training is for educational purposes only, and that includes the question and answer portion that is coming up next. So I covered a lot of information about NFTs, and most likely for many of you, it's probably brand new information and you probably have questions. You must. If you do, now's the time to ask, and I will try to answer to the best of my ability. So you can send those questions if you haven't already through the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. We got one question so far that has come in, and somebody asked if I could summarize what an NFT is. Sure. So an NFT, or a non-fungible token, is a tokenized digital asset that cannot be copied, substituted, or subdivided, and it represents a real-world object or a piece of digital art. So again, back to kind of what we talked about with those basics, the NFTs are going to have unique codes assigned to each of them. They are verifiable by the blockchain, and it is something that only you own. It's not that replica, it's not that print. It's going to be you own your unique NFT. We have another question that just came in. Someone asked, knowing what you know about NFTs, would you buy one? That is a great question. I am not sure, but maybe. I'd have to be really convinced. I'm a little bit of the critic as well, I think. Another participant asked if there is a way to reiterate the advantages and disadvantages of buying an NFT. So some of those advantages are the exclusive benefits that come with NFTs, like the bragging rights, owning a unique original item, investment opportunities, and more. But some of those disadvantages are not much is known about them long term. The IRS has not yet ruled on what the NFTs are going to be used for tax purposes, and some people may not want to delve into the world of crypto and blockchain. Another question just came in. Are there marketplaces where you can buy NFTs with regular money? And the answer is actually yes. You'd have to do a little bit of personal research as to what those are, but there are some marketplaces online where you can use regular currency instead of cryptocurrency. But again, I can't speak to exactly what they are, so that's where you'd have to do your own research. Any final questions that potentially anyone might have? I actually have a final question for you all. What do you think is the most interesting or surprising thing about NFTs that we talked about today? That is my final question that I will leave you all with. What was the most interesting thing? What stuck out? Maybe one of the NFTs that we showed. I'd love to hear your answers in the chat. Their cost. Definitely a crazy, crazy one. How long ago they started? That is very interesting. Not a lot of people know. The trust people have in this, yes, this is a new thing that a lot of people are in on. That there are critics. There are plenty. What else stuck out to everyone? Would you buy one? Didn't realize NFTs had exclusive benefits. Some really great answers coming in about what everybody took out of this. We love to see it. I'll give a final 30 seconds or so if anyone has any questions that they'd like to be answered during this time. Otherwise, I will leave you with a few final words. Thank you all so much for joining the session today. As I mentioned, this is our last session of the day, but stay tuned for more sessions tomorrow. Our first session of the day is at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and will be financial concerns of business owners. Have a great night, everybody.